Today's broadcast is going to include discussions of adult nature, intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Elizabeth Spraggins. I am the owner of All Joy Inspired. And today's going to be a little bit of a different kind of show. I'm the founder of All Joy Inspired and the owner of Digging from Darkness, Living in Light, a community of mastermind business owners and people with life experiences that most people don't talk about. But you know what? Every one of the people that is a part of Digging from Darkness, Living in Light, they are part of the group to help serve their community in one way or another. And today, we are going to be taking on a little bit of a sensitive topic. So if you have children in the room, I don't recommend that this is a show for them. Maybe put on some headphones or, listen to the replay after the show ends, which will be available everywhere. Today's topic is going to be cherishing the journey to liberty. I'm going to introduce you to somebody really special, somebody who I met and we connected on a deep and personal level. I'm going to introduce you to Liberty. Liberty is a woman just like me, just like many others. Things happened in life, and for one reason or another, she chose to become an explicit entertainer, or what we will call for this show's purposes, a provider. We have to be careful about how we discuss this topic, so it will be available on different platforms. And we want it to be available so we can reach as many people as possible. Whew. So buckle up. You guys are in for a ride. A very, very special story to share with you. Today, we are introducing you to a woman that we will call Liberty. We are very honored that she is sharing her story and her journey with us. Liberty is a woman who has experience in the sex industry, and she has been very, very brave to come forward and talk to us about the details of all that she is experiencing and the ins and outs of the journey she's about to go through. So what we're doing today is we are going to introduce you to her. She's going to tell us a little bit about herself. And as she moves forward in her journey, in her development of making a new life for herself, we are going to share these details with those of you out there who may be wanting to experience the same. If you identify with Liberty's story and you would like to support her, we will provide that information for you to be able to share some help and hope with her at an ability or at a location that is still safely protected for her identity and her comfort. So we will provide those needs and resources that will be able to help her later on in the show. So Liberty, thank you so much for being here today. We are so honored to have you. It's important that we have a little bit of a discussion before we move forward. Sex workers are everywhere. They're everywhere. And they're invisible. They're invisible because they need to stay that way so they can continue to do the work that they feel that they have to do for one reason or another. Who are they? How do you know who they are? They don't want you to know who they are until it's time to get paid, really. So we call them explicit providers, and they are wives, their girlfriends, their mothers, their daughters, their sisters, and, well, men as well. This goes for men and women because men and women are part of the industry. And I have to be honest with you. I have to come complete and come correct in this situation. This is not easy for me to talk about. It is such a desperate situation for someone who is in this position to be in the sex industry and badly want a way out and not know how. This is a frightening position to be in. There's a lot of depression, some suicidal thoughts and tendencies, a lot of addiction. I say 90% of the people in the sex work industry want out. And if they feel stuck for one reason or another, they usually self-medicate, and it can lead to troubles with the law, can lead to a loss of family and friends. It can lead to a loss of everything, including someone's life. So technology tends to make sex workers visible when they need to be, but it also makes them invisible. And the cloak and dagger lifestyle of being this part of the world makes it very difficult to recover from, makes it even more difficult to come out of it and ask for help. It's a lifestyle. So I really hope you guys enjoy this broadcast today. This was not something that was easy for me to put forward, but we're helping. One life at a time, we're going to change this world, and we're going to help those who want a way out find a way out.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be talking to you right now.
Would you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm 35 years old. I have 3 kids. I pretty much raised my kids actually all by myself. I've really gone through a lot in the last 18 years of my life, and I've always really wanted to talk about my story, but always been kind of scared because people are very judgmental. The world is very judgmental.
Yeah. Yeah, the world is very judgmental. And I can tell you from personal experience that once it's discovered that this kind of work can provide an immediate living that can take care of urgent needs, it's very difficult to come out of it. And it's difficult to come out of this kind of work because of the stigma. There is a stigma. And there are some folks that are in the industry that are perfectly happy with it and they don't have an issue with it. And okay, we're not talking to you. We are talking to those who want to leave, who want a way out and feel stuck. They feel stuck. They get into the lifestyle for one reason or another. And once they find a resolution in sex work, they get trapped. They feel like they don't have a way out because those needs weren't resolved. Just the money to take care of them was. So we are going to move forward. I hope you guys bear with me. I'm a little off. People are incredibly judgmental, and that is one of the reasons we've had such a difficult time bringing these sorts of stories forward. But your story is going to bring women a lot of hope. My next question for you, Liberty, is how did you get into sex work? Because it's different for everyone.
I agree 100%. Mine, basically, I needed help with my kids, and working a full-time job, 2 full-time jobs at the time wasn't enough. And having 3 kids, having no support, the county doesn't support you that much as they say they do. So I had to do what I had to do to make sure my kids had food, a roof over their head.
You know, I am so familiar with that. I was a single mother myself, and I understand completely what it's like to see that option as an immediate relief to a desperate need. May I ask you a question? Thank you so much for sharing this information, by the way. You are so brave to come forward, and we really appreciate all of this. My question for you next is, how long have you been doing the work?
So my oldest, 18, probably about 10 years. Well, I don't do it. I stopped about 3 years ago for the most part, 4 years ago for the most part. But, it's hard to say that you stop when you still have to post ads and try to, get money, because there's not too much you can do besides work a full-time job, and that doesn't even support your family. So I don't do it. Like I said, I'm really trying to get my life in order. I want my kids to have a role model, and I want to be a role model for others. you don't have to do it. Like there's other options, but I get how this could be an easy out.
I get it. I understand. And there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of women worldwide who feel the exact same way. I would like to ask you a little bit more, if that's okay with you. Thumbs up if it's yes. For those of you who don't know, we're recording and there's a little bit of an echo, so Liberty's got to be muted between questions. Just for those of you who might not understand. Liberty, is there any issues with addiction in your history or in your present?
Yeah, actually, there is. I've been clean 4 years. I was on opiates really bad. I think it was more to numb the pain. Not so much the pain. I think it was to numb what I was doing. And so I didn't feel like I was doing something wrong while I was doing it. But at the time, I didn't feel like it was so wrong because I was doing what I had to do to provide. Like I said, they don't, people around the world are in general don't realize that just because they see money, we don't have it. It's not easy to support our families, and people don't help us the way they should. The county and the things that we have that are supposed to be here to help us, we don't have that.
I totally understand. Many of the women that I've talked to and many of the women that we help use some sort of self-medicating in order to be okay with what they feel they have to do. There it is. Yep, I didn't forget. I'm paying attention now. I'm paying attention. A lot get stuck. A lot get into the lifestyle because of a financial emergency. They either have children or a family member or a spouse or a significant other that they choose to care for, and then the need doesn't go away because the problem doesn't get resolved. Only the financial responsibility does. So what we find, a lot of sex workers tend to get into addiction, and that is to be okay with the work that they're doing. And this is something that I can talk to you about for a lot of years. And there are different kinds of sex work, you guys. I don't want you guys just to have this idea it's about someone in a dark alley somewhere, because that's not what it's about. There are different forms of this work that we're describing. And we're reaching out to all of you out there who are in some form of entertainment, explicit entertainment. It's not just an in-person entertainer, not just a provider. We're talking about people who are on camera, either the cam girls or in movies or even telephone services. There are a lot of ways that you can sell explicit entertainment and not be okay with it. You're included. You matter as well. But for those of you who don't understand, I'm trying to reach out to you because these people who feel stuck in these positions, who are afraid to come forward for help, are afraid to come forward for a reason. And a lot of that has to do with the shame involved of the activities that they chose to do for one reason or another. And let's not forget that there are some who didn't choose to become an explicit entertainer. They didn't choose, and they're still not choosing, but they may want a way out anyway. And we include them, especially those who have been forced or coerced into the lifestyle. So let's go over this because I'm in the feels right now. I got to tell you, I'm in my feels, and I am trying so hard not to break down in tears because I want to give you a great show. I want to give you something that you're willing to share and something you're willing to tell your friends about, just in case that one person who is hiding what they're really up to when you're not paying attention, they might need help. I want you to show them this broadcast, and maybe they'll reach out for the help that they need. But as I'm talking to Liberty, my heart and my spirit are overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed with compassion for this woman who has been so brave to come forward and tell others about her story. It took me years to be okay with who I was and the work that I had left behind me. And still to this day, I get get nasty comments every day. Every single day, someone has something really nasty and mean to say to me because my explicit entertainment was very public and it's recorded in history. There's no hiding from it. I was on camera for a very long time. So anytime someone, gets a bug up their butt, they can throw it in my face. But the bravery of this woman, just, we met one night and she came forward and she says, I went out. I see what you're doing. And how did you do it? And it inspired me to ask her to tell her story because she's just one person. There are men and women of all ages who may feel the same. But I found it very difficult to do this broadcast today, even though I believe it is absolutely critical for people who are falling into a darkness they feel they'll never recover from. Because I was her. I was Liberty. I was in a position where I was in a desperate situation, and I found that the money I made in the line of work was not only very easy, but it became huge. And then it became a career. And there was some self-medicating involved. I mean, my medication of choice was alcohol. It's not an issue for me now, but when I was neck deep in the work, it absolutely was. It absolutely was. So I understand the traps, multiple, that people tend to get involved with in order to continue to deal with these emergencies that the sex work is paying for. But what most don't understand is that it's a snowball effect. And until those issues that started it all are resolved, nothing else is going to work. So, why do some people get into the lifestyle? Well, you heard Liberty's story. You heard why she, was attracted to the work and why she chose to get into it. It's because she was a single parent. And you'll see that a lot of dancers, a lot of on-camera entertainers, porn stars, or cam girls, or in-person providers. And they get into it because they have children. They feel they have no other resources to care for. A lot of them are forced into the work. And those that are forced or coerced into the work are in an especially dangerous position and really need our help and encouragement to see their options elsewhere. Some think it's a glamorous lifestyle. For some reason, Hollywood, the media, Entertainment Daily, whoever, they seem to have these young people and these young folks think that being an escort or being a cam girl or a porn star or a stripper is a fancy lifestyle because they can buy expensive things. And I can tell you that all of that money, it doesn't erase the damage that some people feel it does to them. Not all. I'm not bashing, the adult industry, just reaching out to those who have developed an issue with the work. So we need to be clear because there is another lifestyle coach who made it her business to cram down throats of people why they should be ashamed of themselves and trying to shame them into leaving the work. I'm not going to do that. All Joy Inspired will never, never, never shame anyone for being a part of the industry because some folks are okay with it. And if you're okay with it, more power to you. But if you're not okay with it, if it's breaking your heart to do the work and you feel you have no other choice, we can help. We can help your spirit recover. We can help your heart heal. And we can help you reconnect with the parts of you that you love the most that you had to put away in order to make that living. We can help you. Okay, moving on. How is it possible to help someone who wants a way out? How are you able to help yourself if you're one of these people? What are your fears?
I'm scared to fail. I feel like I failed the last 18 years of my life. Being a single mom, it's been hard. I haven't been able to provide for my kids the way I would like to have. All my kids are very, very well behaved. My oldest son just graduated. He's going to college. They are so well, like they are so well mannered. I did a great job. I know I did, but I still feel like because we couldn't go on vacations, we couldn't do the things that I wanted to do that I seen other families doing. I feel like I failed. I want my kids to see me do something with the things that I have. My son tells me all the time, like, Mom, you can't change what people think of you, but you can change how you act towards them. I love him so much. I love my kids. They're so amazing.
And that is a driving, motivating force to be an example for other people, primarily the people you love the very most. I do have a little bit of a thought adjustment, maybe that might even take that a step further, is that you can't change what people think of you, but you can change what you think about yourself. And this is an amazing step forward to thinking a little bit more highly about yourself and to realizing all of the gifts that you already have. And that's something that All Joy Inspired does, is it helps women who are in the sex industry, who believe they have no other options, discover these amazing talents they have. Like you, for instance, we were talking a few minutes ago off camera that you have an on-camera presence, you have a speaking voice, you have the ability to connect with people in a way that most people don't. And I think that's a talent we can expand on. What do you? Ooh, yeah. Oh boy. So, yeah, I am so mind blown by the bravery of this woman. This woman is a rarity among people that we help. Most people that ask for help are very embarrassed about their time doing the work, and she has come forward with gusto. She has come forward with a spirit of fire. Liberty is an example of the men and women who are going to make it out because their desire to leave the industry is so strong. Their why is so definitive. They want to do anything it takes in order to start a new life. So a lot of people, they want to leave the industry when changes start to happen, when their identity of who they are begins to be questioned in their own minds and hearts. Some people want to leave the work because they develop a moral conflict. For myself, I was no longer okay with how my work was affecting people, affecting the world and society. I found it particularly difficult to be in any way connected to what I see it becoming, and that is entertaining people who hurt children. And I wanted nothing to do with that. And I wanted to help other people who felt the same way come out of the industry so they could feel disconnected from that part of it as well. Some people have a spiritual awakening. Some people get a message from their higher power. And a lot of people call their higher power by different names. It could be Jesus Christ, it could be Buddha, it could be Jehovah, it could be Allah, it could be, soul embodiment, some kind of connection to something bigger than themselves. That was also a part of my reason to leave. Some people decide they want to leave the industry when they get sober, when being an addict has overwhelmed their lives and they get help, and then sobriety tells the truth about the world that they're living in and how they're operating within it. Whew. Or maybe something happens to them. Maybe they experience violence as a part of the work that they were doing. I know a lot of escorts who have been brutally beaten, damn near murdered by a client, or women on set who are actresses, or men on set who are actors. They sustain injury and they are no longer able to work, or they no longer want to work in that particular industry, or they have a medical crisis. Uh, it's a very taboo subject to discuss, but some people don't want to leave the work until they get infected with something that they can't recover from, or they're just emotionally exhausted. Just exhausted. They've had enough. It's taking too much from them and their soul. Okay, so let's continue. Think about that.
Well, I connected with you. I really will tell you, when I met you, You made me so happy. It made me feel so good about myself. And I text you that I love you, and you text me, tell yourself that. And I was walking up the stairs at work, and I told myself, I love you. And I started crying because I do love myself. I just forgot how to.
And that's great. Mama, that's so, oh, I got damn this mute button again. It's one of the things that we work on the very hardest is showing women who have put that love of themselves aside in order to be able to provide for people in a way that makes them feel bad. By showing them there are other ways to make a living that make them feel good and still accomplish the same purpose. So what are your immediate goals for the near future? What do you want to accomplish immediately?
I want to tell my story. I want to get my story out there, and I want other women, not just women. There's a lot of not just women who do the same thing, but I want everybody to feel okay telling their story. It's okay to open up. It's okay to talk to somebody that you don't even know who wants to listen to you and believes in you. It's okay to do that. I want other people to be okay with who they are and love themselves just like you helped me.
There, at All Joy Inspired, what we do is we address all areas of this transformation to make sure that your experience is as complete and as happy and as permanent as possible. So what Liberty and I will be doing in the near future, for those of you who are just getting to know her, and thank you for being so kind about this, we are going to be working on her personal life, her professional life, her physical health and comfort, as well as helping her find her true purpose. These are all things that we learn as we exit from the sex industry. And it's not easy for everyone. And there are going to be ups and downs. There are going to be some hiccups. And that's okay. So Liberty, are you ready to begin your journey?
You know I am, girl.
I'm awestruck. I'm awestruck by this incredible person and everything that she's been through. And as you get to know her over the next several weeks, we are going to include her in our broadcast from this point forward, just to show you, if you're out there and you feel stuck, the stages and the steps to take and the tactical moves you can make to move forward with a new lifestyle. I'm in awe. This is my heart is just so full for love for this woman and for her bravery. But you might be wondering, those of you out there who are not a part of the industry, you might be wondering why someone doesn't ask for help. They know they don't want to do the work anymore. Why wouldn't they just leave? Well, a lot of that has to do with shame. They feel unworthy of help. They feel like they're just too damaged. Like, why would anybody trust in them when they've done some things they're really not proud of? Maybe they're unaware of what resources they have, what's available to help them transition from the work. Or they're being forced by a manager. We like to call those managers because we want to stay public on the platform. Or they have overwhelming financial burdens. Or they just don't know where to get started. They just don't know, where to get started. And once they find that help, they're off to the races, like our new friend Liberty here. Once we met and she learned that there was another way to navigate her exit from the work, she was on it. Like, she was on it. We have been in communication now for days about her goals and things that she's going to get started doing right now. We're going to be working on her mindset first, and then we're going to, get to work on some goal setting starting next week. And I have the highest hope for Liberty. I really do. And you guys are going to get to watch that entire journey. So we're gonna finish her interview, and then we're going to have a few words, and then I'm going to get to all of your comments and the contributions you have to the replay. So what we are going to do this week is we are going to be working together, and we're going to be establishing goals that are especially important to Liberty and her vision of what her future and what she wants it to be. And she has been very kind to agree to share this journey with us once a week in whatever way that is right for her, and whatever details she feels she wants to share. So Liberty, thank you so much for agreeing to come on board and share your story. I believe you are going to help a lot of very scared men and women for develop their future.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you so much, and I look forward to doing this with you. This journey is so exciting, and I'm so grateful for you. I really am. Thank you.
One thing before we go, for those of you who are listening, Liberty has in the past started a business which she still operates, but because of urgent need and things that are happening around her right now, she hasn't been able to really put herself into developing that business. So Liberty, for those who are listening and maybe in the same position, would you tell us a little bit about this business that you would like to develop?
Well, as I was trying to get through life, I started to clean houses because I didn't want to work in the sex industry anymore. So I did what I could to try to get more money and started a cleaning business, which was going very well, but it's hard when you don't have the funds to fund your own business.
And that is a common conception. That is where most people tend to get lost. So that is actually where most people get lost, is they have no idea where to pull out all of these resources from, and how to make them grow and how to make them develop. But what we're going to do is we're going to show you. If that's what you want to do, is to develop this business, this cleaning business of yours, we can help you do that. We will show you how, and we will connect you with the people who can give you the information and the resources that you need, if that's what you want. What most people discover during this journey is what their purpose is. So part of our work together is going to be to discover for you what is going to make you happiest. And if that is to develop this cleaning business and this housekeeping business, we can help you do that. And if it includes doing other things as well to make that housekeeping business grow and include possibly other people or women, men and women like you, and employ them and help them to find a new life, we can do that as well. It's whatever's right for you, but we will definitely be sharing these details with others in the future. So for today, Liberty, welcome aboard All Joy Inspired. You are my inspiration. You are an inspiration for people you don't know, and other men and women who are going to be seeing this interview are going to find a little bit of hope because of you. Is there anything you'd like to say before we go?
I am so excited. Thank you so much. I just can't wait. You have made me feel like I'm actually worth something, and I look forward to my future because of you.
Oh, girl, thank you so much. You guys, this is Liberty. Liberty is an amazing woman that we've met, and she has an incredible journey ahead of her. So thank you for those of you out there who join us at All Joy Inspired. Keep an eye on Liberty. We're going to be sharing her progress with you once a week, and among other businesses that are going to be helping her in her time and her development. So join us again next week, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, for all of these wonderful things in the future. Okay. So now you know the trick. I had to pre-record this because Liberty was on her way from one place to another, and she had zero time to do this interview today. And she was very kind to stop what she was doing in public to share this interview. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I know my energy is a little different today. My energy is a little bit heavier today. And typically when we talk about things that are difficult, and they normally involved work like this, work like reaching out to help sex workers or trafficking victims. So what could you do to inspire help? What could you do to inspire a change of attitude? If you know of someone who is feeling trapped, or if you know someone who is being forced into the work and they're still a little bit too afraid to come forward, or you yourself, if you haven't quite made that decision yet, kind of thinking about it, maybe you're still really happy with the money, but you think it might be a fair trade for all of the unhappiness that you feel inside. Own your past. Own it. You got to look at yourself and you got to say, this is who I am. I'm a good person. I may have done some things I'm not proud of, but that's no reason to hate myself. That's no reason for me to be stuck doing this forever. That's not my identity. I am me. I'm a good person. I have love in my heart and I have compassion for beautiful things in the world. You could reach out to All Joy Inspired. We would be more than happy. It is our mission to coach you through your growth, give you moral support to help you feel in your heart like you are doing the right thing. If this is truly what you want to do, we can connect you with resources of other business owners and other experts who can help you with whatever challenge you might have along the way. We can help. We can help you with education to grow a new business, start a new lifestyle. And we provide a community of non-judgmental people who will give you nothing but encouragement and inspiration to keep going in your journey. If you have an more urgent need, if you're in an emergency situation, you can reach out to humantraffickinghotline.org. They have resources available 24 hours a day to get you to a place of safety and to remove you from whatever urgent crisis you're experiencing at that time. Or maybe you could just walk into a church one day. If you don't quite want to go the hotline route, or you don't want to, feel comfortable talking to All Joy Inspired, okay. There are other places you can go to talk to people. You can go to a church or a synagogue or a spiritual temple and talk to them. Their whole job is to bring people back to a position of having a healthy relationship with their faith. And I don't know a single one that would turn you away if you ask them for help. Or mental health services. If you want the privacy of a coach, coaches keep your membership private. Everything you say to a coach is private. But mental health can also deal with other issues you're having that could be keeping you from moving forward in that journey. Those are really helpful things to try if you're not quite ready to move forward yet, but you think you might want to. Now, what about the rest of you? What about those who are not a part of sex work, but maybe you know someone who is, someone who might want a little bit of help? What could you do? How can you encourage this person to move along in their journey? Well, number one thing, offer non-judgmental support. Let them know that they have a safe place to talk to you about what they're experiencing. The number one reason people don't get help, the number one reason people don't leave when they feel they have no options is because of shame. And it might be fun for those of you out there who have nothing better to do than to make these people feel like garbage for the choices that they've made in life, or for even worse, for those who were forced into it. It might be fun for some folks. It might be, a form of entertainment to, say, hey, look at that whore over there. Or look at that, look at that guy who's selling a piece of ass, to be able to feed his wife and kids. Number one reason they don't come forward and ask for help is because of that. But if you offer a non-judgmental ear with body language that is calm and comforting, you'll be surprised at the conversations you can have with these people. The reason I left the industry was very clear. I made that clear to you earlier in this hour. But I felt the courage and the ability to do so when I spoke to a group of people who made me feel like I was a human being. That even though I had done some things, as a part of the work, that even to this day, I'm deeply ashamed of, they made me feel welcome. And that gave me the courage to move forward and to see what more was possible for me. And almost a year later, here I am today. And I made it my mission in life to help others like me see that they can be in this chair as well. They can have, lives, wonderful lives, fulfilling lives, happy lives, and be able to leave that part of their memory behind them. So non-judgmental support is the number one most important thing that people trying to leave sex work need. You can be aware of the signs of someone crying out for help. And that could be someone asking you for money on a regular basis. I know it sounds like a no-brainer, and it's not really a laughing matter, but asking for money is one of the lighthearted cries for help. It could be they're getting in trouble with the law. They're getting caught and arrested and maybe done some time. Or They're asking questions about making a change, and they're kind of tiptoeing around the conversation, or they have a deep depression, maybe suicidal thoughts or tendencies. That's more of an emergency. That's more of a everything stops right now. Talk to me. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on with you. Everything stops if someone is expressing suicidal thoughts or tendencies. Or they have uncontrolled addiction. Uncontrolled addiction is a sign that someone feels there's no way out. So if you see these things, reach out to these individuals and ask questions. Just ask questions and let them know you're not going to judge them for what it is they have to say. Direct the person to resources. There are resources to give to people. If they say, I don't know what to do, I don't want to do this anymore, I have no idea what to do, I've tried XYZ and I've failed at all of it, and I just feel like I'm doomed to fail. I'm doomed to be in this forever until I die, or it's just going to kill me eventually. All Joy Inspired, we exist specifically to help sex workers who want out. We coach other people in other areas of life's challenges, but we were born as an industry, as we were born as a corporation, specifically to help people like Liberty build a new life, build new joy, build new love of the world around them, and leave that darkness in their past in a memory. Or you could send them to, you see it scrolling along the bottom here. If it's an emergency, call the police. Or if you don't want to get the police involved, go to humantraffickinghotline.org. They have immediate resources to help those who are in crisis. Churches and counselors. Those are also wonderful resources to help people who need immediate help. Express love for your friend or family member. As much as you want to tell them, shame, shame, shame on you, shame on you. Express love. Separate the act, separate the history from the individual standing in front of you. Look at them in their face and see the goodness in their heart and remind them of the goodness within them. Most people, when they get in deep and they feel like they're never going to be able to get out no matter what they try, most of the time they just need someone to tell them they're going to be okay. The most powerful thing you can tell someone is you're going to be okay. No matter what you've done in your life, that is a part of your past. Our slogan is who I am, who I was made me who I am. What I'm doing makes me who I want to be. And that is something I make it a point to tell people. I make it a point to impress it upon our clients and our members. So they begin to see that their actions in their past is not their identity. It's just a part of their new understanding of life and their new understanding of how to help others or how to relate to those who are in trouble. Tell them, tell your friends and family members or your colleagues if you know they're in trouble in this particular way. You don't have to be ashamed. You are welcome here. I care for you. You're my friend or a family member. I love you. We all make choices in life that we regret, and this is no different. This is no different, and it is possible for you to move forward and find happiness and joy. You can tell them you have greatness within you. You do. Every one of you out there, if you are considering leaving the work, you have greatness in you. And if you need a little reminder of that, come talk to me. We'll discover it together. I believe you can move forward with your goals. Everyone. Even if you're learning disabled, or if you feel like the world's dumbest individual, everyone can move forward with goal setting. Everyone. No one is stuck. I will be honored to help you achieve your new life. I know today's show is a little goofy, I do my best when we talk about these difficult subjects, but we're going to be bringing you more joyous interviews in the future. I want to thank Liberty. Liberty, you gave my heart a whole new level of joy with your interview, and I know that you're going to be watching this later. Thank you so much for helping me to show others it is possible to get out. Because there are people out there who still might be scared. There are people out there who might feel lost. And your interview today, Liberty, showed them exactly what is possible. So for those of you who are a regular part of the show, you know we like to give some love to Beard Vet and Beard Vet products. Oh, you know what? I can never quite get that right. Beardo over at beardvet.com, a veteran company owned and operated by veterans who donates a portion of their proceeds to veteran charities and causes. I absolutely adore beardvet.com, but there's a special reason why I shout them out every single show. Remember that one person, that first person to tell you you're not a dirtbag for doing sex work? That was them. That was before I found my business school. And I'm going to talk to you guys a lot about the people who gave me my business education, knowing I was a sex worker and wanted to leave. They treated me like a human being. Beard Vet was the very first public entity that treated me like a human being and made me begin to believe that something new was possible for my future. I will always have a loyalty and a deep, loving respect for Beardo and all of the men and women over at beardvet.com, and they will have my undying support. I want to give a little shout out as well to Matt Couch. Matt Couch has been through some devastating medical things recently. Matt Couch, he is a phenomenal human being. He's a good person, and he went through some terrible, terrible things recently. So Matt, if you're listening, I love you, brother. I'm wishing the best for you and your family, and I'm praying for you and hope that your recovery is very fast and that your adjustments in life after these medical tragedies are comfortable and short-lived. Okay, you guys, I am going to be posting this replay, but rest assured, all of your comments will be answered. It might take me a day because there are usually a lot, a lot. My name is Elizabeth Spraggins. I am the founder of All Joy Inspired and the owner of Digging from Darkness, Living in Light. And in the near future, beginning next week, we are going to be sharing businesses and what it is that they do and what they offer and how to get a hold of them, who are providing moral or logistical support to our clients, our All Joy Inspired clients who are leaving the industry. So these people are contributing to community service, and we're going to help you know who they are, because we want to share love for folks who are helping people in trouble. And as always, if you are someone who enjoys our show, go to alljoyinspired.store. Go to alljoyinspired.store. The sales from the store and from the things that you buy help us to sustain our ability to reach people who need our help. So buy a t-shirt, buy a funny hat, buy a necklace for your mom, or a coffee mug, or a candle. Every purchase you make, 100% of the profits goes to helping people. And in the near future, we are going to be raising scholarship money to start sending these young men and women to school to be able to open their own businesses. So that, not just yet, but we do also accept donations on our Twitter page at All Joy Inspired. So feel free to look for that link in the profile. We will be back next week at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Today we were a little late because we had some technical things to resolve and an interview to edit. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. This wasn't the easiest show for me to do. And I know even my 7 p.m. deadline, I'm not going to meet that either. In fact, I'm way late now, but I think this was worth it. This is a direction that we're taking, and there are men and women who desperately need the word that it's possible for them to do something new and that they're going to be okay. So thank you for your patience. Go to alljoyinspired.store. Go buy something and help us help some people. Lots of love, you guys. Have a great day.